Africans within and outside, Africa, as a community, as a commitment to empowering others to shine through our leadership and dedication to brighten the future of all. I want us to, with the clapping emoji, welcome to speak to us, give us a keynote address, Mr. Temiloluwa Afape. I'm not seeing the clapping emoji. I want you to baptize me with it, please. Baptize me with the clapping emoji. I want it. I want it. I want it. I'm not seeing it. She's not going to start until I'm beginning to see the clapping emoji. Mr. Miller, don't be in a rush. I want the clapping emoji to come in. Please flood me with the clapping emoji. Flood me with it. Flood me with it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Yes. Thank you. So, Mr. Miller, you have the floor. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that introduction. At the point, I was just like, who is she talking about?
It's you.
Well, then, thank you so much. I really appreciate that introduction. And good morning, everybody. We are so excited to have you here. And we'll be going straight to this session, which is talking about Inspire Inclusion. I don't know, the room is quiet. I know some people are still sleeping. I know some people are still washing clothes and all of that. I want us to just take a minute for this. If you know that you have friends that are supposed to be here, or you have people on your platform that can benefit from this conversation, you might want to share this opportunity with them. The admin will just drop the YouTube link. We don't share the Zoom link publicly, so that you can share with your friends and other females that should benefit from this great section. So today we want to talk about Inspire Inclusion. This topic was generated from the theme for this year's International Women's Day. I mean, as a woman, we have all of the month of March to celebrate ourselves. I really do hope that everybody in the room took time to celebrate themselves this period. I mean, it's not a problem if you have to celebrate yourself every day, because there's this quote that I really resonate with, and that is, it is not bragging if it is fact. If you are a mother, a wife, a sister, or whatever capacity you are functioning from, I must tell you that you deserve to be celebrated, except you don't do anything with your life, except you don't impact anybody with your life. You don't contribute to anybody's life, because as a mother, you're contributing to your children's life. As a wife, you're contributing to your husband's life, and even to your job and all of that. So you deserve to be celebrated every day. So I'm just going to do this quick question and answer. If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you are not alone. Millions of women around the world face discrimination every single day. Maybe because people feel like we're not good enough. There's a notion that women are the second, you are the second option. Maybe when there's no choice, that's when we go for a woman and all of that stuff. But I'm happy to tell you today that you are not alone. Just like I said earlier, I'm sorry, you're not alone. There are many other people that are going through the same thing you're going through. So give me a minute. I'm having a chat. Sorry, it looks like my mouse is not functioning well, but I don't know why. Can't go to my next slide. So let me just stop sharing for a moment. I'm sure. Okay. All right, I think we have you back. Yeah, so the first question is, have you ever been denied promotion because of your gender? You probably don't have to answer now, but have you ever been in that situation whereby they're saying, oh, we have other guys that lined up for this opportunity? I mean, you fit in, all other things checked, but maybe you have all other things checked with another guy, and they feel because the only way to cut you out is because you're a girl, or because you're a lady, or because you're a woman. If you have ever been in that situation, you might want to talk about it in the chat, but if not, you can just tell us, oh, yes, I've been in that situation. You can unmute yourself by raising up your hand so that I will allow you to speak if you want to share the story. But the second question for thinking is, have you ever faced inappropriate advances in your community, leaving you feeling undervalued and unsafe? The final question we'll be looking at, even if you choose not to answer these questions, I'll move on, but it would have been good if we make this section interactive by responding to these questions, either by responding in the chat section or by responding and identifying that want to speak. Somebody wants to speak. Is somebody trying to speak? I'm hearing. Okay, let's move on. The final question for thought, for you to understand what we're here for you to understand what this conversation is totally about. Have you ever felt like you're working twice as hard for half the recognition? What do I mean by that? For people to recognize you, for people to know you, you have to do a lot of things to show that value. And when they're even recognizing you, you don't take that glory. Somebody else is saying is taking the glory with you. You don't get that recognition. You have another colleague that's probably not even doing up to what you're doing as a guy, and they're getting more recognition. Do we have anybody that's been in any of the three situations and they want to share it? Okay. Yeah, see, you muted yourself. Do you want to say something? Okay, nobody wants to say something. I don't know why. Please, let's always feel comfortable to talk about our experiences. I mean, that's where we start from, where we can talk about anything, pass our message rightly, you do it rightly, because there's some people that pass the message they want to pass in a wrong manner. So as far as we can pass that message rightly, we should do. And this is a safe space. What I mean by safe space is that you can be sure that everybody here is concerned about how you feel. At least as far as I'm concerned, 90% of people here are females, and they probably can resonate to your story. So if at any point you want to share a story or you feel you can relate to what I'm saying, please feel free to share a story. But we'll move on because of our time. What is inclusion? I've been hearing a lot about Inspire Inclusion this year in March, since the 8th of March. But what do they really mean? I don't really know. Inclusion creates an environment where all individuals, regardless of their differences, their color, their gender, feel valued, respected, and supported. Whoever you are, even the age. So far, they're supposed to be in that space. Let me give an example. If we have a 15-year-old girl that is a good developer, she should not be stopped from opportunities that will benefit her because of her age. If she's really good, if she has checked all boxes, there's nothing that should limit her from getting the opportunity that she should get. So inclusion is not about women. It's just about creating an environment where all individuals, regardless of their differences, their gender, their background, their color of skin, whoever they are, they feel valued, respected, and supported. Inspire Inclusion goes beyond merely recognizing women's achievements and challenges. Instead, it's a call to action, urging us to create an environment where women feel valued, heard, empowered to reach their full potential. We want you to be able to talk. That's what I was saying when I started this conversation, that if you have things to share, if you have experiences that you want to share, we want you to feel that we care about that experience. Maybe you've worked somewhere before, or you had a boss that is a guy and they made you feel less of yourself, maybe by telling you that you're a woman, you will end up in the kitchen. I hear things like this. Unfortunately, I've not really experienced things like this at workplace, but I've heard friends share their story of how they were bullied at work by their male bosses, or even a female boss. That's the funniest part, and there's this conversation about women supporting women, but I've heard people that had female bosses, or they still have female bosses that they are going through hell with. So if there are things like that, that means you're not being included. Instead, it's a call to action, reminding us that let's create an environment where women feel valued, heard, empowered to reach their full potential. You create a safe space for them. They don't have to think that, am I good enough? Am I supposed to be here? Is this place not meant for people like me, and all of that stuff? That means you're making everybody comfortable. Even if your workplace is full of ladies and you have just a guy on the team, the ability for that guy to feel comfortable means you're including the guys. But yeah, we're talking about ladies today, so we'll not focus on the guy. But I just wanted to know that it's not gender specific. But for this year, we want to look at how this has affected ladies. 2023 UN report underscored how the world is failing girls and women. If current trends persist, over 340 million women and girls, approximately 8% of all women worldwide, will be living in extreme poverty by 2030. That's a lot. A lot of people, a lot of ladies, women, they depend on other people to survive. They depend because maybe they just feel they're not good enough. It could even be you yourself, limiting yourself because of stories you've heard, because of the limitations and boundaries that you think you are. But this impact would affect the whole world. Whatever the world is contributing to, excluding women, it would affect everybody. Everybody would be in the story. What are the barriers to inclusion? There are various barriers that girls may face in society that hinders their inclusion. And here are some of them. Unequal access to education. I know in a way, this has been solved. Like I say 20% better. It used to be 10 years ago. We don't really have conversations, but also fathers still feel like, why do you have to go to school? Please, I hope you can still hear me. I'm getting a feedback that my internet is not strong. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Please, can you still hear me? Are you still here?
Yes, we can hear you. Or I can
All
hear
right.
you rather. Yes.
Okay, we need 2 more people to confirm if they can hear.
Yes, I can hear
I
you
can
clearly.
hear you.
Any other person? All right, thank you so much, MC. And okay, so on equal access to education. Education has gone beyond just going to school to read and write now. Even tech education, if you're learning any skill in the digital world, you are educating yourself. You are getting digital literacy, you are educating yourself. And we still see that women, ladies, girls still have unequal access to these things because maybe they feel like women should not be doing this. Why should you do this? This is not meant for you. I've had guys tell me that, why are you showing up here? This is not meant for you. But unfortunately for them, it's those things that they don't want women to show up for that I like showing up for it. I might give up on other things, but when it's already a competition between you are not supposed to be here, I want to show them that, oh, I can be here and I can succeed here. So, but we've had occasions like that, and it's surprising that even in this century and this age, they're still happening. Violence and harassment, all that women go through at their workplaces to be promoted, advances, going through harassment and all of that with their bosses or colleagues and all of that stuff, lack of representation and voice. If you ask me, this is much better 10 years ago. I remember 10 years ago, when you go out there and you want to talk about tech, you're not even seeing any other lady that you want to look up to. You're not seeing women that you want to say, oh, I want to be like this person. You're just on your own. You're literally on your own, trying to figure out the path, or you have a guy that is putting you through. But now we have a lot of women, if not, I don't know if my statistics is right, but I can say 1,000 of women to learn from. You have 1,000 of women to look up to and say, oh, this particular person, oh, there's this person here that I want to look like, I want to learn from, I want her to be my role model. You have so many of them, and we will be talking about some of them today in our conversation. How do we inspire inclusion as a person? Because some of us contribute to this, even women. The reason why you're not out there, the reason why you're not doing what you're supposed to do is because of self-doubt, limitations. You're not good enough. You have already stereotyped yourself. It's not because of the society. Some of you have not even experienced society, harshness or violence. It's personal decision not to be involved. It's personal reasonings, or maybe what you've read online, you've allowed it to cloud your thought that if this is how they treat women in tech world, I don't want to go. You've already created a so-called safe space that is not safe. How can we make sure that everybody is included? How can we encourage that young girl in our community, or that young girl in our school, or that young girl around us, or anywhere at our workplace and all of that stuff? I remember everywhere I'd worked before now, even particularly when I was 7, I just had a way to make women in that my I said that at IITA to be specific, and I was working with the service desks and IT, majorly the ICT repair and all of that department. And I have other women on my team. I didn't fail to tell them of how they can do better with themselves. It's almost how many years I've left the company, and I have one woman that keeps telling me that thank you for helping me to start my tech journey, because I will just talk about how what she's currently doing can get better, how she can program things. I'll just have something to share. And this is how we can include women in things that we're doing. This is how we can inspire inclusion, being that example, encouraging empathy and understanding, promote opportunities for dialogue and mutual understanding among girls from diverse backgrounds through workshop. In fact, we were in Ibadan then, and I remember there was PyCon Nigeria 2019, and I invited her. She left Ibadan, she went to Abuja, if I remember well, for that event. Creating that stage that you can join this, you can do this. We can start by that. We don't have to wait for the guys to accept that women have to be in this space before we start speaking about it. You and I can start it. You and I can be the champion. You and I can be the face that want to share that this is why you should do this. And the way we can do this is by sharing our journey. Let them know that this is how I've also pulled through this thing. It's not easy for anybody still. The other one is to advocate for equal access to education for girls. Do you have that space where you can let people know that let girls be involved in this thing? Not because we want to, there's also a wrong way to fight something. I know there's a conversation about gender equality, equity, and all of that stuff. I talk about it too, right? But I just see that sometimes if you don't get the reason why you're having an argument, you might just be arguing from a blinded spot. So the idea is not to really take over the world as women. The idea is just for everybody to be fine, for everybody to have the same voice. Nobody's stereotyped, nobody's kept to one side. So the only way you can do this is don't focus on the wrong objective, like we want to have the same space. You can know that this is what you are achieving, that women should be empowered. When we go to a particular office, we should see 50-50. There's the way my brain works. When I walk into a space, either a workspace, either a company or anything, and I'm seeing 90% women, guys, and 10% girls, I don't know. I don't feel to ask that. Sorry, is there any reason why you don't have a lot of ladies on your team? I just want to ask. I just want to know why. Even if it's a field work kind of place, you hear them say, oh, women are not wired for this guy. I said, who says so? Like, why do you think? You always see me in conversations like that because I want women to be involved, except it's really not possible, which I don't think there's anything that women cannot do because we've seen it over time. So advocate for equal access to education and opportunities for girls, challenge gender biases in the workspace and other social spaces. I talked about it. If you have opportunity to, that's why you have to build yourself. You have to be skillful enough so that when you're saying something, they want to know who is this one, who is talking, what do you know about this thing. But if you have facts to back up what you're saying, everybody wants to hear you. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear what you have to say because you're valuable. Let's say you're working in a space and when you got there were 9 guys on the team and you're the only girl. First, you were uncomfortable, but because your goal is to challenge that gender biases, you got there and you were doing exceptionally well. You are not the type of girl that will expect that, oh guys, please come and do my work for me, this, that. How do you want to fight it? When you yourself, you are still being a girly person. But imagine if you're the one that always stand up to talk in the meetings, you're the one that always create solutions to problems that guys don't even want to talk about. They just feel like it's too hard. And you as the girl on the team, you crack the code. It will be easier to walk up to your boss and say, sir, why have you not considered having more ladies on this team? Your boss will want to hear what you're saying because it makes sense. But if you are the one that when it's time to work, you're always saying, oh, I want to rest, I feel dizzy, I feel this, you're always giving excuses, then you are closing the opportunities for other women. Support organization and initiative that promote gender equality. Yes, like I said, gender equality is the goal, but then don't focus on it too much, like you're trying to fight the guys. We can do this together in harmony. We don't have to fight. We don't have to stay apart to get this done. But any organization, just like Tech It Girls, that they're focused on empowering girls. I don't think that Tech Girl will share it anywhere that we want to promote gender equality or inequality or equity or whatever the case may be, but they just want to make sure that girls are empowered and so that we can stand out wherever we find ourselves. Hold ourselves as ladies, as women, accountable for upholding inclusive practices. I would not stop saying that, ladies, let's skill up. Ladies, let's be good at what we do. It should not be the type that you want ease. You want them to treat you like a queen. Yes, we are a queen. But then when you start creating an environment like, oh, no, this is not meant for me. This job is not meant for me. They already start seeing some weaknesses that you don't have, but you created for yourself. So if you really want to fight inclusion, we have to make sure that we are ready to be included, not that you just want to take the front. When they say, oh, we want to talk in this organization, you want to be the one to talk, but you don't want to do the work. We should not be that kind of person. So we should hold ourselves accountable for upholding inclusive practice. It's important for us to hold ourselves accountable for upholding inclusive practice because accountability is essential for creating lasting change. Lasting change. So those are some of the points of how we can get this done. But what are the benefits of doing this? See, that's why I feel like as a lady, if you have opportunity to get into a room, make sure you create a great impression. Make sure they check you and ask that, are you sure you are a woman? Because the way you embodied grace, let me use that word, or the way you're able to do this, I just had to check. You're different. You do it different. You know what you're to do. If you are a software developer, you want to get through to your job, not that you give the guys, can you help me build this part of this? Can you help me? You don't want to do it, but you want to take the glory. You want to say, when they talk about women, women should be included, you are the first to talk. But when it's time to work, you don't want to work. We can't create, we can't inspire inclusion that way. No, you can't even, when you want to talk about it, people want to shut you up. That what are you saying? You mean we should have more ladies here that will come and tell us that they don't feel like working or their mood has changed this morning? You don't want to be that kind of person. You want to be skillful. You want to know what to do at that time. And what are the benefits of inspiring inclusion? I just have to focus on the challenges we might have because you can't be preaching against something and still be working against it. If you want to stand for it, stand for it. And if you want to you don't want to be involved, don't be involved. And these are the things we need to fight if we really want to stand for inclusion. Two out of numerous benefits that we have, inspiring inclusion is creating an inclusive environment that ensures girls and young women have access to opportunities in various fields. I want to see women thrive. We want to see women thrive. And that's why for every woman in front, a lot of lives, a lot of other women depend on you. If you're doing the right thing, you are creating that environment that will help other people have access because you can speak about it. People know that, oh, she's very good at what she does. I'm happy to see Ellen here. I saw her on Twitter first. When you see somebody, a woman, she's doing an engineering thing well, hardware, and nobody can shut her up because it's not bragging when it's fact. And when she wants to talk about why women should do this, people will listen because she's a very good example of that. It also helps us break down gender biased barrier that may limit choices and potential. People feel, oh, women should not code. We now have a lot of people, women, let me be specific, running into non-coding part of tech because they feel like coding part is hard. No, I will not say do the coding part. I'm only saying that your reason for not doing it should not be because it's hard. There's nothing that is hard. When we start creating that stereotype that this one is hard, it's for guys, we are already destroying what we are building ourselves. So it's getting interesting because I've been talking about what we should do, what we should not do. But who are the examples that we can look up to? What are people that are already doing this thing that they can talk about inspiring inclusion and people will listen to? What are the people that are already changing the status quo, and they should inspire you today to make a difference. Wherever you are in your workplace, you are working as a receptionist, for example, you can make the difference. You can be diligent in that work. The Bible, which I believe in case you're not a Christian, but this is the book I believe in and it guides my path. It says that, seest thou a man diligent in his business? Like, if you're just good at what you do, as a woman, we're not here. I won't come and say, oh, let's fight for inclusion when we are not ready to sit up tight. We have to be diligent. We have to be good. So we want to look at other women that do well with what they do. The first person I want to talk about is Mommy. I have to call her Mommy. Like, why would I just say Ngozi Okonjo? Because she has earned that for me. she's the first person we look at. I know many of you know her, but what do you know about her? How is she inspiring you, and how is she making you make a difference around you? You don't have to wait for the big stage before you make a difference. You don't have to wait for, when I get to start working with companies like Google, I'll start inspiring inclusion. No, you can do that in your space. If you look at people that are now at the top, they started from their corner. So when the opportunity came, they were able to make that difference. She was the first woman appointed as the lead WTO. She twice served as Nigerian Minister of Finance, worked at World Bank for more than 20 years, and served on the board of Gavi, the Fasin Alliance. Look at this amazing record. Look at this amazing reputation that she had been able to create for herself. You know, she's been able to do this because she was skilled at what she's doing. Nobody will keep you at World Bank for 20 years when you are not ready to work. If you are the type that always complain about headache, I'm not meant for this, I am very busy, I have mood swings today, where would they recommend you to be on the board? Why would they recommend you to be a Minister of Finance? And not just once, she did it twice. And also, made a difference by being the first woman. There are other people that have been doing this lead of the WTO, but she was the first woman. So you can be that change. The second person we'll be looking at today is Momi Ibuku Awosika too. She's a Nigerian businesswoman that, one of the things that struck me about her story is that she owned a carpentry, I don't know if you call it carpentry, but that's the layman word for what they do, like building furniture. Yes, a furniture, a company that builds furniture. And I'm like, why is a woman doing this? Does she even know how to use the nail and hammer? But however, she's able to, I've heard the story before, but I can't remember particularly. She was able to build that business, and that created a lot of opportunities for her. See, women, ladies, girls, because I know we have different ranges of people here. Don't wait for that big stage. Don't wait till you have 1 million followers on social media before you are able to make it. Just do it in your corner. One day, the world will stand for you. And starting with her business, talking about what she does, opportunities open for her. And she is the first, or I think she's no more on that role. Or let me use the word, she was the first female chairperson of the first bank of Nigeria. Take note, the first person we looked at, she was also the first. There's always a first. You can be the first. You can be the first. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. But they challenged this status quo. They just broke this barrier. For her to be the first, that means she broke a string. People have been doing it, but they have been guys. And she said, I can do it. And then she was able to do it. And I think this role is even by appointment. They must have been seeing what you're doing. She was also appointed as the member of Binance Global Advisory Board in September 2022. I mean, doing well for herself and for the future. And people like us can look up to her. I'm going a little bit into, for some people here, you want to talk about why you cannot do it. You want to say, oh, my children cannot allow me to study. I have a lot of children. I have this, that. You're just giving so many excuses to why you are not meant to do this thing. Let's look at this woman, Adenike Oyetunde. She's a disability advocate and senior special assistant to Lagos State government on personal living with disabilities. After losing her right leg to bone cancer at the age of 20. I mean, we have so many limitations to talk about. We have so many reasons to give up. We have so many reasons to just say, I don't want to do anything special. I mean, I already have this challenge. I have this, I have this disability. But look at this woman. With her own disability, she was able to create a space for herself. Some of us that we are not disabled, we are not a special assistant. But it doesn't make us less. I'm just saying that even with her disability, she's able to still create a niche for herself, and everybody still respect her for that. I don't have much time again, so I'll just quickly go through other people we have here. We have Ms. Abiola Bowal, the current Regional Chief Executive Officer of West Africa for UBA. We have, you can read about these people, Bukola Awoshika, the founder of BAW & Co., an experienced lawyer with 2-decade experience in corporate and commercial law. I mean, whatever you are, whoever you are, and yes, this is me, when I just talk about other people, I talk about myself, it looks like I'm excluded. No, I'm also creating a niche. I'm also making a difference in my own space. We have Temilade Adelakun. I tried to add young ladies so that we don't talk about those old people, and the goal will not be like, oh, when I get here. No, start now. She's a dynamic professional with multifaceted career spanning marketing and program management. She's currently a product marketer at Google in Sub-Saharan Africa. We have Adora Umeji. I know many of us saw this on the internet, and even our Tech It Girls, she was a Women Crush, I think last week or this week. But one thing that fascinates me, holding 3 bachelor's degree and all of that stuff is okay. But the most fascinating, this woman is married with 6 children. I mean, you don't have excuse. I don't have excuse. Even if you're married, you're a grandma, you don't have any excuse. You can always make the difference. Another thing that interested me is that the bio said Umeji holds a bachelor's degree in sociology from University of Jos. She also holds a bachelor's degree in accounting and a first-class honor in law. So they talked about first-class honor in law. We don't really know the details of the other 2 degrees that she held, but the one she was able to still make that difference and create something that will stand out for her. Maybe she didn't make a first class in sociology and in accounting, but in law, she was able to make that difference. So I'm only saying the first time you try, you might not make that significance for yourself, but keep trying, you always make a difference. Another person is there, Kinwale. She's also here. She's an experienced software developer, and she's committed to promoting tech awareness among girls, kids, and teenagers. And she's also the co-founder of Tech It Girls. And we also have Juliet Eyiman. This is somebody that inspires me because I've met her before and I'm just like, how can women be so powerful? The truth is that when a woman is there, we give access to more women, and that is why you must be that person changing the narrative. Start in your locality. Are you a school teacher? Start in your school. Let them see you as a teacher that is different from every other person. Even males can respect you for making that difference. There's so many people to look at. We have Okpetunde Adepoju, who is a consultant at EY, and she has been making a difference in her own space too. We have Funke Okweke. This particular woman, I should say mommy too, right? She just inspired me because she did something that is not common, and I think she relocated after spending so many years abroad. She started to come home to make a difference, and she's doing it. And the funny part is that she's not even popular. People don't really know her, like maybe some other names that we are used to, like Mommy Bukawishika and Co, but she's phenomenal. That's the word I can use. She's phenomenal and she's good at what she does. How can we inspire ourselves? Because you are waiting for somebody to inspire you. You are waiting for somebody to make you feel important or inclusive. Surround yourself with like-minded people. That is creating communities, joining communities. There are many communities for women now. In fact, sometimes I'm like, are we not doing so much for women? But you'll be surprised that with that much, look at today now. A lot of awareness has been made about this program, and women still didn't join. If it was a guys program, you'd have seen more people. What happened? There's already community for you to join. These are things you need to hear to encourage you and know that you are doing well, because you might feel discouraged because you are the only one in that space. But when you hear stories like this or people's story like this, it helps you to just feel safe. It helps you to feel like you're doing well for yourself. And this is why the way you can inspire yourself is by being among like-minded people, taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. That's very important, because sometimes you're just so concerned about, maybe after listening to talk like this, you want to just create a niche and then you just put yourself into work. Please take care of yourself, because if at the end of the day you learn everything you want to learn and you don't have a good health to carry it, you will not still create a niche, you will not still be known, you will not still make a difference, because your health can now destroy that fact. Step out of your comfort zone. Yes, women are too comfortable. I like my safe space. I have mood swing. Now I don't feel like walking. All of those things. Let's step out of our comfort zone. And you can read others later. Committing to inspire inclusion. When women aren't present, we must say, if not, why not? Why is the woman not here? You must speak out. And that leads me back to what I said earlier, that if you are someone at your workplace that you don't do the work, you can't say that. So what you do really matters, and it gives other women opportunity. When women are discriminated against, we must call out poor practices. If you see that a woman is not treated rightly where you work or in a place, you should ask questions and call things like that out. Don't be too timid not to talk about it. When treatment of women is not equitable, we must take action. When they are sidelining women, maybe you are opportunity to be on a board and you see that they're not doing well to the women in the company, you should speak out, and we must And we must do this each time, every time. We should not be tired of doing this. To wrap up my, thank you, Italy. To wrap up this conversation, of course, after now you can ask your questions. When we inspire others to understand the value of women inclusion, one of the things we've done in IWD for this year is to talk about it. We forge a better world. When people know why they should do it, the world is better. But when women themselves are inspired to be included, which is what we've done today, there's a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowerment. Collectively, let's forge a more inclusive world for women. Thank you so much for listening, and I really do hope that we would make this difference in our own space. All right. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. A round of applause, please. I just want you to jam your hands together. I want to see the clapping emoji rolling in, rolling in, rolling in. I'm aware that there are some people joining also on YouTube. I want to say a big welcome to you. Thank you for coming to celebrate with us the International Women's Day, inspiring inclusion. I want to say a big thank you to Ms. Temilolu Afafe, and thank you for just inspiring us, telling us that we can do it. You can do it, not because of your gender, but because you can do it, because you have the ability. I really want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have said a lot, and I was just trying to pen down everything, and I'm very sure a lot of our listeners, those that are joining us, you have something to take home today, because we've seen people that have done it before. We see people that are doing it, and it just almost tells us that we can also do it. And also me, I'm also a testimony of the fact that if I can do it, you can also do it, irrespective of your background. I studied animal science, and now I'm diverting into tech, and perhaps looking for a way to include tech into animal science if the opportunity comes. So, but what am I trying to say? All I'm trying to say is that you can do it. We are inspiring, that in every sphere we can see a woman doing something amazing, and we can celebrate that woman. I want to really say a huge thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if Miss Okwe is available to just give us, this program, or let me just say this meeting was organized by Tech It Girls community, and Miss Okwe is going to be just, giving us a heads up on what Tech It Girls is all about, what we do, what our vision is, and how we are also working into inspiring women or inspiring inclusion as a community. Over to you, Miss Okwe, if you're available.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me? Please, can you confirm you can hear me, please?
Yes, we can. I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Ms. Temi, for that insightful session. I mean, that was really a lot. When she was showing all of those women, in my head, I was picturing myself in there as well, like they're just going to show me too as well, right? So I just want to encourage someone, like, always try to create those imaginations, create that picture board in your head. I mean, I just had to share that probably to help somebody. I mean, when she was just showing those women, I was just seeing myself there, like one day, very soon, they'll put me up there as well and they'll talk about me. And I am very sure that it will go across soon by God's grace. All right, so about Tech It Girls, I'll just I'll share my screen. I'll just share a part. You can read through it while I just, explain. I'll just explain to us. Okay. I believe you can see. Yeah. All right. Thank you. So about Tech It Girls, we are also known as TIG. I mean, the short form is just TIG. It's a non-profit organization, where we whose our mission is to educate and to encourage women and girls to pursue professions in technology. The term Tech It Girls, it means to incorporate technology in all that you do. Tech It Girls we are not just concerned with preparing girls for coding. We also aim at increasing awareness about other individuals. I mean, we can read all of that. I just want to explain to us, right? in just using 5 words to explain that. Number one thing I would like to explain that is to say number one of the major things we are into is breaking barriers, which is one of the things we are trying to explain to us today. I'm talking about inspiring inclusion. We are trying to break barriers amidst the creating an equality, gender equality amidst all genders, trying to break into the tech world, letting people know that yes, we can do this. Our tagline as an organization is yes, you can do it, make it happen. You can do it, make it happen. Which means you can, all those limitations, whatever it is that you think, oh, I'm not sure I can do well in this field, you can actually do it. So one of our major vision is to create that awareness that all ladies can actually break barriers, because we know that women are underrepresented, just like one of our speakers said this morning. It seems like we are underrepresented. Imagine, look at the program that we have right now. Just like we don't have so much, but we believe that, it can only keep getting better when we keep making that awareness known. So we are trying to create that balance that women can strive in an environment, in all environments. The second thing we are also trying to do as an organization is education and training. Education and training in terms that we also create opportunities. We create programs where you can learn we empower women in across tech careers, maybe probably product design, it could be product management, it could be data analysis, it could be whatever you can think of. It could be digital marketing as well. Whatever it is you can think of as a career in the line of tech, we also create that environment where we train and empower women that wants to go into those tech roles. We also create networking and mentorship, in the sense that we also try to create an atmosphere where you can network with other people. We have a community, we have our WhatsApp community, we have our Slack community. Probably at the end of this event, we are going to share the link for those who would like to join us on our community. We have a community where we share discussions together, on things that could help us build our career, how we can grow ourselves, things we can do to present ourselves out there. We create that balance by having that discussion on our community. And then lastly, what we'd also do is, we advocate for women and creating awareness. We have programs that we do, like monthly. We have our monthly tech talk, where we bring speakers to speak to us across all sphere of influence, teaching us on, like last month now, what we did was, how you can brand yourself out there, how you can make yourself known out there. So, amidst all of I just had to create those things in 4 words. I mentioned breaking barriers, education and training, networking and mentoring, and then lastly, creating awareness. So, these 4 things are the things that captures all that we do as an organization. And of course, we are looking forward to doing more, and by incorporating more and more women into this world, that into this technology world. And even outside technology, there's so many other ways you can make waves, right? So that is one of our vision and our mission. Thank you very much, Ms. Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. I really want to say thank you, Ms. Okwe. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Without wasting much time, because we're really pressed for time today, we'll be moving to our first speaker for today. And she's no other person than a fabulous lady that's done so much for herself and for our community. And I'll be reading a profile. She's no other person than Miss Oluwabamikemi Kayode. And I'm so pleased to introduce you to this lady that wears various versatile professional hats and excelling in multiple domains. She's a developer and currently occupies the position of the community program manager Her heart lies in empowering the next generation of tech enthusiasts, particularly aspiring women in the field. She contributes to the communities like She Codes Africa, Open Source Community Africa, and a host of others. Please, can you make welcome with me, Miss Oluwabami Kemi Kayode? You can have the floor, ma. You're welcome. Please drop the now I want you to drop the fire emoji because it's about to get lit. Like it's about to get lit. I want to see the fire emoji from everyone joining. And let's not forget those that are joining us on YouTube. You can also join the drop the fire emoji. Those on the Zoom link here, you can also drop the fire emoji. I want it coming on, coming on, coming on. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing. Okay, yes, yes, I can see it. I can see. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Now, Miss Bami, you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm sorry. I need to fix my light a little bit. Sorry. Okay, so it won't be too much. Hi. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know about others.
All right. So my name is Oluwabami Kemi Kayode, as rightly introduced. And I'm so excited to be here today. Well, it's still the International Women's Month. So happy International Women's Month to every amazing woman up here. And thanks to our first speaker, that was really, really inspiring. Yeah. So thank you for that amazing keynote session. And let's just dive into it today. So let me try to share my screen. Wait. Okay, so I kind of like prepare a little what's now a little slide. It was kind of like impromptu, so you just accept it as it is. So once again, I am Oluwabami Kemi. I am like a community program manager. I am an open source community manager. I organize events and host events. So it's good to be here. Thank you very much, Yetunde, for inviting me. And thanks to all the amazing work you are doing in the space for women and girls in the community. So today, my topic is supposed to be digital inclusion for women. And when I hear things like this, I just thought of, okay, I resonate with it because it has a lot to say about my career journey, which I'm going to be talking about in the course of this session. So first off, I know that the previous speaker asked some questions and there were no answer, but I would really, really like to get response for this question. So when you hear digital inclusion for women, what comes to your mind? You can please just drop it in the chats. Like in the speed of light. We can quickly do that, right? I'm not sure I can view the charts because I'm presenting my screen, so but please, you can just go ahead or probably just, unmute and quickly say something. What comes to mind when you hear digital inclusion? Or is anyone speaking? Is anyone saying anything? I can't see the chat. What did you say? All right. Okay, so because I'm not saying anything, I'm just going to, just go ahead. All right, so when you hear digital inclusion for women, I mean, what comes to mind is to my next slide. Sorry, let me just use this. What comes to mind is, you just sort of empowerment, talk about healing, talk about goals, mentoring, positive improvement, motivation, strategy, and all of those things. And most times when we talk about empowerment, basically, because for the theme of the International Women's Day for this year is embracing inclusion and empowering women, right? So when you talk about women empowerment, you hear like helping women, right? The previous speaker really touched that a lot. Helping women become more powerful, helping them to be able to make decisions for themselves, right? Helping them understand that they have the power to make decisions, to create their own destiny, basically. You literally do not have to wait for any other person to make decision or to plan out your life for you. You can literally do it. In contrary to what we have grown up to know, what the normal status quo it was previous years back. So right now we know that when we are talking about, when we're talking about empowerment, when we're talking about digital inclusion, we know that it's literally just empowering women, letting them take charge of their own lives, take charge of their own, of their own goal, of their own destiny, basically. So moving on, let me share a little story of a young lady, which is me. All right. So like every other person, I grew up, I went to school, I studied computer science. I'm not part of the people that, crossed from probably like a health course to tech. I actually studied computer science, but studying computer science did not really put me in that space of that I could actually do a lot with technology. The idea of studying computer science was because I ran out of every other course to study, right? So I studied computer science, I put in my best, I tried to graduate with one of the best results, and that was just it. My plan was to just finish it and, get to work in a bank. I usually say this when, when I'm talking about my story, because I've loved the way bankers dress. I don't know if I'm the only one, but that year I used to love the way they dress. So the whole of the idea behind, getting a good result was so that I can easily work in a bank. That's it. So until 2019, where one of my lecturers just reached out and was like, what language do you write and all? And I was like, I was being sarcastic. Yeah, so I said English and Yoruba. And it was like, no, that's not what he's saying. It means what programming language do I write? And I'm like, I don't write any programming language. And then he encouraged me to start looking at programming languages. It was like, you're too brilliant not to be writing any programming language. But in the back of my mind, at the back of my mind, please, sir, what are you people teaching us that you want me to start writing programming language? But then it does not matter. So I started it. I got invited to a tech event, open source Oscar Fest in 2020 by a friend. And that was like the real eye opener for me. And then I started my career. So now moving to the real stereotyping that I faced, the real barrier that I faced was from my family, basically. And the thing is, they expected that, oh, you are a young lady of about 26 at that time, and yeah, you're supposed to move from finishing NYSC, finishing school, go for your NYSC, and go to your husband's house. That was the stereotype. That was the status quo. That was, the cultural stuff that we had at that time. And it's like, if I'm not doing that, I am almost not welcome in the house, because I was literally so frustrated during the course of my learning. And that was when there was COVID. So it was really, really frustrating. I experienced that, but I do not allow that so-called barrier to hold me down. There were times where they said that I'm always in my laptop. Am I a Yahoo girl? Am I doing Yahoo? Am I into cultists? Am I a cultist? Why am I always pressing? There was a lot. There was family meeting that, what am I doing on my laptop? I explained like countless times. And my dad is a soldier, so he basically do not have any idea of, what tech is, basically. Even when he was paying for the school fee, I don't think he knows what studying computer science means. So I really faced a huge barrier at that time because of the idea, the cultural norm that people knows that when a lady is at this age, you just grow and just go to your husband's house. That's it. And every other decision is made by your husband. You're not supposed to chase a career. You're not supposed to want things for yourself. You're not supposed, if you are doing that, you're not responsible. That was the idea at that time. But I changed that idea because I am the only woman in my house that literally do not jump into getting married after school, that is actually chasing a career. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but yes, I made that decision that I don't want to do that. I want a career for myself. And that's now the where the whole war started. So giving a little bit of my experience, of my barrier that I faced while, getting myself started in the tech career, let's talk about how don't mind so let's talk about digital inclusion. So when we talk about digital inclusion, we need to understand that digital inclusion is not just about sorry, I can see this basically. It's not just about providing access to technology, yeah. It's about empowering women with the knowledge, the skills, opportunities they need to thrive in digital age, right? Thereby advancing gender equality and creating a more inclusive society, right? So we actually need to put this into play whenever we want to talk about digital inclusion, women empowerment. It's not just like providing access to technology. It's more of letting these women know the whole awareness, a whole lot of awareness needs to go into place. Like what the previous speaker said, this is an event for women, and we have less people here currently, which will not be so if it was just for male and female, right? So we need to do a more of awareness, let them understand why they have to be in this space. Let them understand why it is important for them to take up this power that is already within them, right? So the knowledge, the skills, the opportunity they need to thrive in the digital age. So, sorry, I don't know what else. Okay, so let's talk about the importance of inclusion for digital inclusion for women empowerment, right? So the first one is access to information. So I talked about, how you can give them the knowledge and, just let them know that they are supposed to, take up this power that is already within them. So the first thing is access to information. You want to provide women with access to, vast array of information across the world. You might start from Nigeria, you might start from, Africa, but across the world, basically, you want to provide them with those information, those resources that can enhance their knowledge and all skills, decision-making abilities, and, enables them to stay informed about the relevant topics, such as health, education, employment opportunities, and, their rights. I am not so big on, the whole feminism thing, but women supposed to know their rights. Women supposed to know that you don't have to condone some sort of behavior from your male boss or from your female boss because you are a woman, right? So we have to like give them those access to information, sensitize them, let them understand their rights, let them have employment opportunities and all of those things. So the next one is economic empowerment, right? So this is like by gaining these digital skills and access to online platforms, women can participate in digital economy as entrepreneur, freelancers, employees. This opens up new avenue of income. We have a lot of women now that are like CEOs. Yeah, they are CEOs, they are co-founders. A lot of them. Our previous speaker also like mentioned a whole lot of people that women that are like doing amazing stuff in the in the world generally, from the finance to, the NGOs to the business, the entrepreneurial part of it. So they actually you can give the whole world economy, like economic empowerment, when we give digital inclusion to women. So the next one is educational opportunity. Right, this one is actually like facilitates access to online educational resources, your courses and platforms, allowing women to acquire knowledge, new skills and qualifications. Something like what the Tech It Girls is doing, right? Something like what She Code Africa is doing, something like what Empower Her is doing, Women in DeFi, and so on. We have a lot of different women focused, communities that have like make it their sole responsibility to create all these educational opportunities to women, right? Just to empower them. So when you give digital inclusion to women, it gives we get educational opportunities, right? And that do not only stop, because when you train one woman, it's like you're training the whole nation. I think that's like an adage or something, because you are training the whole nation, right? So imagine me coming to Tech It Girls to learn about anything whatsoever. And then I finished from there and I moved to mentoring other people. That was what I did in She Code Africa. And that was why I am part of the, the community member. I sort of handed over in February though. But then I learned from She Code Africa. I learned Python development from She Code Africa. And a few months later, when I know that I can give back to the community, I volunteer as the front-end lead in the community, and I started mentoring people, organizing events, and it makes it easier for the founders and the core team, because they're already training people that can actually give back to the community. And this is the beautiful part of it. So we have educational opportunities. Now, the next one is safety and security. And I'm talking about the safety and security because of what we usually hear of. I have not experienced it, but I know that these things happen, right? And that is when we want to empower ladies, we want to empower women to know how to fight violence, how to fight harassment, how to fight discrimination, when they know their rights, and they can actually protect themselves from all these forms of violence or harassment. And this is very, very, very important, because as much as we want to encourage women to to provide educational opportunities for them to be CEOs, to be freelancers, to be influencers and all. We want to give them information. We also want to let them know that putting their safety and the security into check is also important, is as equally important. So these are the importance of digital inclusion for women. So we are moving to the next one, which is bridging the digital gap. And I put this in this slide when I was thinking. I didn't even know that the keynote speech we have, women that had actually like walked the path before us. That's what I call it. The women that walked the path before us, because they are the one that cleared that path. If we are to be honest to ourselves, we know that the way the old system was in about 10 years ago is not the same way it is right now. We now see that people now like have women now have more opportunities, right? And that's because of the women that have worked before us. So before we go there, I'm just going to be, talking about some. Can everyone still hear me? Please just, say you can hear me, so I will know I'm not speaking to myself.
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you very much. So we know that there are some people that have actually walked this path before us, and they have made the road clearer for us to also work. And what we are going to do is also to make the road clearer for the people coming behind us. So now, the first thing I put here is to promote digital literacy. I talked about, doing sensitizing women, girls about, their rights, their abilities, what they can do in the tech space, right? So basically, it implements comprehensive digital literacy, right? So we are like bringing girls, specifically girls, women and girls, to programs where they can learn basic computer skills, internet usage, digital safety, information, and critical thinking skills, right? Both soft skills, art skills, where they can just like know about all these things. So bridging the digital gap is us promoting digital literacy. So we have to go out there as both male and female, right? This is to male and female, but basically or mostly to us female that we are already at that, top of the ladder, right? We need to like create this digital literacy, promote this digital literacy for people that are just like coming behind us. So the next one is provide access to infrastructure. I heard when the person I was talking for Tech It Girls was saying that they create mentorship programs, they have they give out gadgets. I'm not sure if I heard that correctly, but yeah, She Could Africa do something like that where we, give out laptops for people to learn and stuff. You just create infrastructure. You create, if it's for you to send out data, for people, for girls that just want to get started and they don't know how to do, how to go about it, or they have difficulty in all of these areas. We're just creating access to them to give them infrastructures to start, right? There's a thing currently going on where we are doing like creating, helping people to that their laptop has spot or something to just have a laptop repair, right? This is you also creating that. After creating the whole awareness, after giving them digital literacy, give them access to infrastructures. So the next thing, which I have also talked about, is addressing social cultural barriers. Tell your stories. You have it. You have them a lot. Mine was from my family. Yours might be from your workspace. Yours might be from, your neighborhood or any other place, or probably your family as well. You talk about it. Till I can tell you for a fact that till today, my parents still do not fully understand what I do. The only thing they know is that it makes me rich. If that makes sense. The only thing they know that, oh, this girl is now rich. Wow. But they do not understand. I feel like probably some part of them will still be feeling like maybe it's Yahoo. Maybe I'm just not saying. But they know the kind of person I am. I cannot do Yahoo. Yeah. So let's address those social cultural barriers. Let's talk about our story. Let's share our stories openly. Let people understand what is going on, and so that they will know that they are not actually alone in this, right? Let's challenge those stereotypes, right? Things like, oh, you are a woman, you can't do this. I have a friend that she said she got into tech because she saw something on, software engineering and design and all. And she told a friend of hers that is a guy that she'll come and teach her. And that one was like, oh, you're a woman, you cannot do it. She said she literally went to start burying her head into studying and learning how to code because of that singular statement, right? We know a lot of statements where people just say that is the people that actually do this course is an engineering course. It's not for women, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one that have heard, those kind of absurd statements that are Your place is in the kitchen, or your place is in the bedroom, or your place is in your husband's house, or whatever it is they call it. But we need to start addressing all these cultural barriers, all these stereotypes. Let's challenge the stereotype. And luckily for us, we are not starting from scratch. That's the good news. We are not starting from scratch. It's not as if we just want to, start the whole awareness, start the whole sensitizing, and no, it has already been happening. We already have countless examples of women that we can talk about that have addressed, that have challenged the stereotypes, right? We have countless of them. And now we can actually use them as examples when we are talking to people, when we are challenging the stereotype. I mean, if this person can do it, I as well can also do it. If I can do it, definitely, most definitely, you can also do it, right? So we need to start challenging those social cultural barriers. If I had listened to my family or my parents then when, the whole it was hot, if I had listened to them and I decided that maybe this thing is actually not for me, and I go and I just say, well, maybe we will go look for husband for me and get married, I don't think I will be happy. And that's the honest truth. I don't think I will be happy. And I don't think I will feel fulfilled because I didn't do what I want to do. And I'm definitely not going to be where I am today. I'm definitely not going to be on this call with you all giving this talk right now if I had, let whatever they said got to me. So for people that are just like starting their career or whatnot, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be a very smooth road. I'm not going to say that. That's for social media. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be rough, but you're going to definitely find your way through it. And that's the sweet part. You're going to you're going to come out feeling accomplished. You see when they just call you to come and speak about something that you feel like you can talk about. It is the pride that we have at the accomplishment of all the work we have put in over the years. And that's beautiful. Yeah. So let's address all the social cultural barriers. So next one is create gender inclusive policies, right? And these are policies and regulations that promote, gender equality in digital sectors. This includes initiatives to close gender gap. Sorry, excuse me. This is initiatives to close gender pay gap in tech-related professions, support owned businesses, in the tech industry, and ensure equal representation of women in leadership role within the technology companies. I remember when I just joined Tunga, the amount of females there were not so much, first off. Then they started like recruiting female on the like the what would I call it, the lead team, like lead of department team. There was only two women there, and that's how we can see how underrepresented we are actually until sometimes in 2022, late 2022, all the people in my team were all females. It was so amazing. But then it's still shaky because we were all in community team. We are like community managers, communication person, and all of that. We're just all female. But in the tech team itself, the product team, there was no single female there. And that's what we want to also like try to promote. Yeah. So we want to make sure that in all these top places, you're not underpaying me because I am a female, right? We need all these policies. You are not giving me that promotion because you feel like I'm a female, I'm going to be pregnant and I'm going to have to go on maternity leave because I am a woman. right? We need to start creating, those gender inclusive policies. All right. So the next one, which is also important, is creating mentorship and role models. And like I said, this is easier for us because we already have people that have gone way ahead of us. So create mentorship. Like what Tech It Girls is doing, creating mentorship for other women. You can do it as a community, you can do it as an individual, right? You are good with this thing, right? Take other people alongside with you. Hold their hands, right? While they climb up the ladder with you. You cannot just, be the only woman in that company. You can't be the only woman in that company. You cannot be the only woman in your team. Try, work as much as you are, create mentorships that can bring other women to that team, to that company. Reach out to other people, right? Women that that are doing amazing things and that they will be able to deliver, right? That they will be able to deliver and contribute to the growth of the company or the team. You bring them on board. So be a role model to other women, provide mentorship programs and opportunity for women and girls to connect with successful female role models in the tech industry. So is someone saying something? Support women entrepreneurship, and that's what I just touched on. Like when you are the only female in that company, when you are the only female in that, do the literal women supporting women, like bring them on board, help these women that are just doing they're just starting their startup or doing a particular business in tech, or starting a community. Help them create programs and initiatives that support women entrepreneurs, right, in the digital space. These also give them access to fundings, to train, to networking opportunities, to mentorships, and all of those amazing things. So be supporting or be supportive to other women that that they need all this help that you can provide. Don't be the only one out there. Now, collect data and monitor progress. This is also very important while we are trying to bridge digital gap. And this is important because we will not know where we are if we are not monitoring it. We will not know the amount of progress we have made if we are not actually monitoring it. And that's how we can, have tons of names of founders, female founders in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world right now that are doing amazing things, but we are collecting those data, right? So we need to monitor our progress and know how well we are doing in, bridging the digital gaps. Sorry, is someone saying something? Okay. So I have a few strategies I outlined and I'm just going to run through them, not need for explaining. So for strategies for enhancing digital literacy among women, tailored training programs and accessible training resources, community-based workshops and classes, mobile learning platform, right? Like something we are doing right now. Partnerships with NGOs and community organizations is also very important. Integration into formal education. Yes, we have to start putting all this digital education into formal education, right? Where young girls or even individuals that are just coming up, they're just in school, in high school, in primary school, in higher institution, they already have, ideas, they're already taking courses on, or they already have a subject on some of these things that, I saw that there's project management in some schools now, which is super amazing, right? So all of those things, computer science should be, more than just Fortran and COBOL. You should go deeper into what the recent technologies and what people are using currently. So role models and mentorships, I've already mentioned that as well. Empowerment through practical applications and recognitions and certifications, right? This is also important. You give them probably it's a boot camp or it's just like a course, and you just give them certification that okay, this person has done this, gone through this program and all of those things. So then the last one is continuous learning opportunities. We do not want to stop. We won't get tired, even if it's just only 10 people that is on this call, which is probably supposed to be more. We'll still not get tired. We'll still keep, providing those opportunities, providing those learning opportunities, having those workshops, having those classes, having those programs that will help these women grow to their full potential. So opportunities for women in tech, we have different opportunities. There's career diversity, there is innovation, and career diversity, you have data science, you have software engineers, you have community managers like myself, you have project manager, you have product managers, you have cloud engineers. There's tons and tons of career in tech. So that's career diversity. There are different opportunities for women in tech, and we have not even taken quarter of it, right? We still need to take more. So there is innovation and entrepreneurship. You can for example, She Could Africa, Tech It Girls, right? Those are like innovation you want to, and there is entrepreneurship. Some people just like have like edutech and all of those things. So yeah, there's different opportunities. Leadership roles, there is CEO, founder, CFO, COO, and whatnot. So there are leadership roles, head of engineering. It's not bad, right? Head of engineering, head of DevOps, it's different things. There are different opportunities. There's research and development, there's social impact initiative. And I think again, social impact is what Tech It Girl is doing, right? You are impacting people. And there is mentorship and advocacy. We will not stop talking about it, right? There is networking and professional development, there's education and training. There are different opportunities for women. And all of these things, you can just pick your niche and hone it, right? Pick your niche and hone it and be good at what you do. I always emphasize on that, right? Don't feel like, oh, because there is now then gender equality going around, companies want to hire female probably to make themselves feel better or not, right? But you, as the female or the women they are employing, you want to also know your onion, right? You don't just want to go as per that, oh, it's just I'm a female, I'm supposed to get this. You also want to be very good at what you do. So please, in whatever niche you are picking, you hone it and you are good at it. So I have examples of women. I didn't even know that, well, the previous speaker is also going to do something like that. I just like have them listed here, clustered together. Sorry about that. Yeah. I have an example of women that have cleared the paths for us, right? I have Ada Hoyam, and that is the founder of SA. That woman or that lady has been a real blessing to this, to this generation. She Could Africa now have representations in over 20 African countries, right? Different African countries, and we're going stronger, right? There is Adora, the senior software engineer and a founder. She's also doing like amazingly well. There's Blessing Abeng, and these people are like mostly Nigerians. If you now go to Africa, you go to the world, you see amazing women, young, old, doing magnificent things, right? So there are these women that have like cleared the path for us. We have Blessing Abeng, founder of Ingressive for Good. If you know Ingressive for Good, there's Odunayo Eleni, the co-founder and CEO of Thingiverse. There's Ruth. She's the founder and CEO of Beat Mama. Beat Mama is a Web3 company, right? There's Damilola, the founder of Shotla. If anyone knows Shotla, yeah, it's like those transportation company. There is Yetunde, yes, I added Yetunde, co-founder of Take It Girls, yeah. There's Rebecca. Rebecca is from Cameroon, and she is the founder of Aptex, and they just provide technology products to companies. There's Hilda, she's the founder of Peza. She's from Kenya, and Peza is Pezesha. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it well though, but is a fintech company in Kenya. So these women, like I have not even probably mentioned like 1% of women founders across Africa or across the world, but we already see that these people have cleared the path for us. They are still clearing the path for us, and it's making it easier for us that are coming behind to work, and also clear the path for people that are coming behind us. So at the close of that, I want to say that empowerment is not just, about giving women power. It's about reminding them that they already have it, right? They already have the power. They can do anything. We can't do anything. We have it in us. The only thing we have to do is to activate that power that we have within us. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Once again, I am Bami. I don't know if there is any question. And yes, you can connect with me at on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and if you like, on Instagram on the following accounts. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you people. So is there any question again?
Wow, thank you. You have really, really taken us through a whole lot. And I must really say, I really deeply appreciate what you have done. Thank you for inspiring us. And if there's anything I'm going to take home from today's session, is the fact that you said we should, pick our niche and hone it. Like, pick your niche in this world of technology, in this space of tech, very wide, very vast, and own it. And I think you're really doing such for yourself. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. For the question part, I think we're going to put all the question part to the panel section where people that have questions can ask you. We also have another speaker now that's going to be coming up. We're so pressed for time. I know there are a lot of people want to load us with, and we can't but just have you all. So quickly, I'll be inviting, and before the next speaker comes in, we've been hearing about women that have been doing it. So I just want to have a game of just, let me just say maybe two minutes or just a minute. Anybody that's joining us, you can participate in this game. We have listed quite a number of women that are into tech, and they're doing a lot. If you have joined this meeting, there's been a number. Mr. Milolua mentioned about 11 of them. Ms. Bami also has mentioned quite a number of them. If there's anybody that is here that wants to tell us at least 5 of those names, 5 of those women that are doing massive for themselves and owning it. They have taken their niche and they're owning it. If you can just tell us. Anybody? Okay, I think we'll leave that for maybe the panel session. Quickly, we're going to be inviting our next speaker, and she's no other person than Miss Helen Okereke. Miss Helen Okereke is a software and robotics engineer, a data engineer, and she's a women tech maker ambassador. She's also passionate about mentoring young people, especially women, to embark on a passionate journey into technology. And we can't wait to have you. So a round of applause for Miss Helen Okereke. You're welcome. You can have the floor now.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's afternoon now. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can. We hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I want to also thank Yetunde, thank you, Take It Girls, for the invite. I'm really honored to be here. And also, I want to celebrate every woman here because, wow, we've heard a lot. Like, it's nice meeting Temi again. And she's a woman with a lot of values, and I really learned a lot from her today. So, thank you so much for all you shared today, Temi. I celebrate every woman here because coming here is commendable. Like, we are just 10 here. Yeah, and it's really commendable. So my name is Helen Okereke, and I am a software engineer with 5 years of experience. Yeah, so with my 5 years in the tech industry, I'm just going to be talking about some of the barriers. Though the speakers have talked a lot, they have said a lot, but I'm just going to be focused on on my story. Yeah, the barriers I faced, the challenges I faced, and how I was able to overcome many of them. So I'll be talking about breaking barriers, driving innovation, and I'm going to make this talk as fun and engaging as possible. All right. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is understanding barriers. One thing I always say is that the only problem that you cannot provide solution to is a problem that you don't know about. So you need to understand the problem for you to be able to find a solution to that particular problem. So that is why I wanted to talk about understanding barriers first before any other thing. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about understanding barriers first because you need to understand these barriers, learn about these barriers so that when you actually see it, you know that you're not alone and you will look for a way to overcome them. So this is a very interesting topic for every woman in tech because whether you faced barriers and maybe you it was hard for you to overcome some of them, or you're just starting out, it's not a bed of roses. You're still going to face a lot of barriers. You're going to see a lot of challenges, and you have to work your way through it. You have to strive to become that successful. So one of the barriers is the gender bias. So sometimes it's as if you're a woman, there are certain things that you cannot do. And the funny thing there is that sometimes we are the ones that create this gender bias by ourselves. You see a woman coming into the tech space, she's already kind of creating a demarcation between the skills she can learn and the ones she can't learn. Coding is not for um, coding is not what I can do. What I can do is design. Not really what I can do. Coding is not for women, it's for men, something like that. So, but one thing I believe is that there is nothing you would woman that you cannot do. Okay, so whether robotics, whatever it is, and I am a good example of that. Those challenges trying to be a robotics engineer as a woman, I've heard so many things which I'm going to be sharing, but I'm still thriving. Yeah, dream that I would really love to make out something from. I really love to be successful in that. And I'm not ready to give up. Okay. So some people already have this kind of mindset that for a particular role, it's for men. Women cannot fit into that role. If you've not seen that kind of scenario, you may still see it because some employers they prefer. I don't like women's drama, the emotional stuff, and all those things. So I prefer men for this particular role. And women are not even all that good. So some of them believe that women are not really good like men. So they prefer men who are really experienced and good, but not correct because some women are still very very good at what they do. Then another barrier is in leadership positions. Sometimes company owners don't want to give women leadership positions because they feel like women are going to go on maternity leave, they're going to do this one, they're going to complain of stomach pain, menstrual, leave office for some time, stuff like that. Okay. Then there's also disparities in payments. Sometimes you see some company owners that want to employ women, but they want to employ women because they want to pay less. So they feel like women are the ones you pay less. You see a man with the same skill set as a woman, but there are certain amounts you can't like for that guy. But you will just be kind of devaluing the woman, trying of what that woman is worth or something. And sometimes we just take the opportunity because we don't know what else to do. So another one is we are overlooked for promotions and opportunities for advancement sometimes. Some company owners may they don't want to give you opportunity for advancement. The truth is that sometimes you may not even be given that opportunity as a woman. You may not be given so many opportunities. Okay. So it's always good for us to recognize these barriers so that we can look for a way to dismantle the tech industry. All right. So I'm just going to share my story in different ways. Sometimes you see yourself working in a male-dominated team as the only female. Yeah, sometimes you may see yourself just working in a male-dominated space as the only female. You don't even know how to go about it, like you're feeling so rejected. So, but one of my principles is that I must be heard. Wherever I am, I must show my value. I must not be invisible. I must be heard. That is one of my principles. And I can remember when I started off in a computer institution, because I didn't attend the university. So when I started up in the computer school, we were only like 2 women in my class. And I was the only one who was doing the whole software engineering course. The other girl just came for the COVID-19 break to come and learn web development. So this is all I've got, and I need to put in enough work into it. And even before I was allowed to go to that institute, I know how I battled with my parents, with my mom especially, this African parents mentality that you to study a particular course. So my mom wanted me to study medicine, and okay. And when I wrote my first JAMB, I didn't get medicine. So I was very happy that I didn't get it. And immediately I had to switch computer science because that is the course I always wanted to study. So in the course of all these, I had to tell my mom that medicine is not what I. So she even had to enroll me to for this JUPEP program. I don't know if you know JUPEP. You know how much JUPEP is paying. Like she had to enroll me, paid the school fees for me to. One day I just woke up. I told her, "Mommy, I cannot do medicine. I don't want to do medicine. I just want to study computer science." You see that thing that you feel I can do. I study medicine. I'm going to do it for you in tech. I'm going to do it for you when I study computer science. So I just needed to talk the way that she would be able to understand me. Like I didn't want to I didn't want to lose the opportunity I had and go into the wrong direction. And thanks to God, she was able to understand me. She said, okay, that she will keep remembering this. And that was how she promised to train me in anything I want. And during the COVID-19 break, I decided to go into a computer institution instead of studying computer science in the Nigerian university because I saw it was a lot better practical knowledge of things. So I found myself in a class where I was like the only female there, and I didn't want to just be invisible. Just like in a program like this, I've been hearing the speakers ask questions, say anything. Nobody wants to say anything. But me, my kind of person, when I'm in a space like this, I would want to say something. So, and it has always opened a lot of opportunities for me, because it's actually when you stand up to talk that people will.
Kindly confirm if you can hear me again, please.
We can hear you, ma.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's when you stand up that people will be able to see you. It's when you stand up that you will be able to get some certain opportunities. So I kind of made it my goal that I'm going to do well here. I'm not just going to be invisible as a woman and nobody will know that there is a woman existing in this class. So that made me to put in a lot of work. I had to stay awake at night trying to build amazing projects, trying to read ahead of my teachers, trying to master my skills so that like I would be a visible female in the class. And I will also be doing very well so that I wouldn't just be someone that nobody is seeing in the class. And that was a good motivation for me. That was a good start for me because that particular goal took me to places. I kind of mastered my skills in so many ways. All right. So my journey into robotics, first I started as a software developer. I just went to the school and I was supposed to do an advanced diploma program in software engineering. And I took it very serious. So I think just one of my days in the school, some people came to do a program in our school to talk about Internet of Things and robotics. And I was really, really fascinated by that technology. I was like, wow, this is something I would love to do. This is something I would love to look into. And that was how I picked it up. It was just a 1-week program. So it's a 1-week program. I picked it up. I decided to work towards. Before they left our school, I had to buy the equipment from them. And I was using the equipment to learn small on my own. So that's to show you the determination. I didn't have to wait for anybody to tell me this is what you should be doing. I just encountered a particular field and it was really fascinating. And I didn't want to leave it. And I didn't kind of limit myself by saying, no, this is for men. And the facilitators that came for the program were men. There was no woman there. But it was really what I wanted to do. Why shouldn't I do it? Why can't I do it? So I just had to get the equipment from them. I picked it up. I started learning on my own. And from there, I kept advancing up to the level where I am today. Okay, so, and as a woman, you're going to face so many barriers. Even in that industry, I've faced so many barriers, even more than I could imagine. So I could remember a time when I kind of talked to a potential person to help me, to help send me to a robotics school or something like that abroad. Yeah. The person was like, you're a woman. You shouldn't be doing something like this. I'm considering you because you're going to get married soon. And you should be doing something that when you get married, you will not have issues in your marriage. That was his own reasons for not wanting to sponsor me or anything. So, and you're going to face many barriers like this because the people out there will not see reasons with you. They will not understand your vision. They will not understand why you want to do it. So that's what he said, and that was how he was seeing things. But me, I know the vision I have. I know where I'm actually going into this field. Not that I've made up my mind not to get married in life, but should I sell my career because I want to get married? So should I drop whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm planning to do, because I'm going to get married? So these are things that I also considered even before coming to this part. And I have already kind of made my plans on everything. So I already have my vision, which no one else can see. And you are the one that will make people to see that vision. You are the one that will make people to see that star in you, because initially, nobody is going to believe in you. You're going to face so many challenges and nobody is going to help you at first. But you're going to be the one to give them reasons to help you. All right, so what are the strategies that I use to overcome these barriers? How did I overcome them? Because now so many of those barriers they no longer exist in my life. Like, you can't even mention them close to me now, because of the place I've placed myself, because of how I've thrived, the things I've been able to learn over the years that helped me to overcome these barriers. Okay, and one of them is to master your skills. Master your skills. Actually, the truth is that, I don't know, but I feel like we are already doing too much for women. That's what I feel like. We are already doing too much. You see programs, International Women's Day like this, you see programs, women in tech and all those things. And sometimes you are given a certain opportunity because you are a woman. And this has made some women not to master their skills. They feel like they have more advantage as a woman. They feel like they have more opportunity as a woman. They don't even want to master their skills. They've forgotten the need for you to do what you're doing and be very good with what you're doing. And it cannot be overemphasized. That was one of the things that helped me. So at least, even when you're giving me opportunity as a woman, when I come in there, I will show you what I can do. I will show you that I'm not just having that opportunity because I'm a woman, but because I can do it, because I can do well in that particular space. Another one is mentorship programs. So you can enroll in mentorship programs, just like Tech It Girls offers mentorship programs. Sometimes you need someone to talk to. Okay, so sometimes you need someone to talk to. You need someone who will guide you and mentor you in the space. Then you should join programs online, on-site, make connections. So this was also one of my strategies. I try to learn at every given opportunity. The tech world is evolving. Many other things are coming up. So as a woman, you need to also keep learning, upskill yourself. And it's by attending programs like this that you will find out the newer technologies and you will key into it. Okay, then you build your personal brand. Don't just be that woman that builds and keeps silent. That was one of the things that kind of helped me, because each time I'm doing something, I'm always putting it out there for people to see, this is what I can do. This is what I'm doing. So it will actually put you out there, and you will even get people who will help you. When you're building in secret, nobody is going to see you. Nobody is going to know what you can do. So, but when you kind of build that personal brand yourself, I remember some weeks ago, I was going to organize an International Women's Day program for my community. And then when I kind of reached out to companies for help, it wasn't difficult. They were just like, okay, Helen, that's fine. Why? Because of the brand I've created for myself. Because of the person I've made myself to be. In the internet, you will see me all over. I'm putting myself there. I'm trying to create to make wave in my own space. I'm not just doing everything in secret. I'm bold and confident in what I do. That's why I put it out there. Okay, so you also have to embrace challenges and upskill. Some reasons why people don't want to employ women is because of the emotions and all that. So you have to embrace challenges. Even when you fail, you should stand up again and try again. Don't be so struck by your emotions. Don't be so down by your emotions. Okay, and then if you have opportunities to volunteer, because sometimes you may not be given a paid chance to prove yourself. But if you have the opportunity to volunteer, you can volunteer and show what you can do there. And then it will also help people to see you and to see that that potential in you. And also, while you're doing every other thing, do well to build your soft skills. Amidst the mastering your skills, you need your soft skills, self-confidence, your leadership skills, the ability to work in a team, not just I'm doing it alone, I can do it alone stuff. So that's all I have for you today, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Wow. You brought us through another route. And in no distant time, I would be handing over to Ms. Yetunde to take over from here. I really want to say a huge thank you to all our speakers, and thank you for honoring our invitation. I'm so super grateful. Thank you. Over to you, Ms. Yetunde.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sarah. Can everybody hear me? All right. I was able to learn so much from Elaine's section, which part of it was master your skills. And, it was mentioning something about the fact that don't build in silence. As you're building your, building your brand, building whatever you are building, make sure you put yourself out there for people to see. Nobody's going to check through your inner circle or maybe your house to see what you're building. Until you put it out there, that's when people can see it. Thank you so much for that wonderful section. So real quick, we're going to be going into the panel sections whereby we have all the speakers ask them questions. So right in this moment, if you have any question, you can drop it on the channel section so that we can take it up from there. So we won't be taking much of our time in the sections. So I know we know all the speakers. We have Bami, we have Temi, and we have Ellen on these sections, and we've introduced them. So I'll just be asking them some of these questions that might be bothering us or might be bothering females out there, or maybe an inner questions that, oh, I want to ask this and I don't know how to ask or something. But like what we've learned so far today, be bold about what you do. Let people know you don't just be somewhere and you are just silent about it. Make sure you ask questions, whatever you might be having in mind that, oh, this is not clear, this is it, and you've heard them talk about it. Please drop it on the channel section so that we can take it up. So yeah, over to Bami. She talks about digital inclusion for women. And one thing about the fact that, one of the things Ellen said is the fact that we have a lot of platform, a lot of opportunities for women out there. And I wanted to talk about it. I want just to ask the question about, maybe we need to emphasize on the aspect of mentorship. Mentorship. So I would like to ask this question that, what role can mentorship and networking play in advancing digital inclusion for women? I don't know if you get my question, but what role does mentorship and networking play in digital inclusion? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that question. I think I pointed at a lot of mentorship and role models while I was talking earlier, and that's because it is very important, right? So the basic role that mentorship and networking play is that it helps these women, it helps women in general, right? It helps them know what they are getting into, right? And it provides like when you have someone that is like holding your hand, right? You are not just, it provides a sense of belonging, it provides a sense of when you feel like you are being helped, right? You feel like you are not alone. You feel like there is someone out there for you. That's what mentorship does, actually. So mentorship is like you have someone to run to. When you have a blocker, you have anything, you need any help whatsoever, you have someone you can talk to. When you want to talk about, probably you want to start a role and you're talking about salary negotiation, you have someone to ask that, hey, I want to get this role, this is the salary they're telling me. It helps you not cut yourself down, right? So it's basically give you that support, that like a support system, someone that you can easily reach out to and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going through, and this is this, and or this is what I'm learning. I'm not getting this thing at this time. Can you help me out? Now, what I used to say is, as much as mentorship is important and you want a mentor, don't turn your mentor to don't be a burden to your mentor. I think that's just no sugarcoating it. Don't be a burden to your mentor, right? Make sure that you also know something before you reach out to someone to be your mentor, right? You want somebody to be your mentor. It's not as if you are starting from scratch. You don't even know what you want to do. You don't know your right from your left. Where you want a mentor. I mean, what am I mentoring you on? So make sure that when you are reaching out to someone for mentorship, you already have idea of what you want to do. You know what not is in your space, in your niche, whatever you're doing, and you reach out to someone to mentor you. So mentorship is like it plays a very, very key role, in digital inclusion. It just provides us. That's what I talked about, women that have walked the path. It makes you have people that, have walked the path that you can look up to and gives you support system. Now for networking is so important, and I'm usually so big on it because it gives you that it gives a wide number of people you can easily reach out to. And if I don't know Yetunde, probably it will be probably a bit harder for her to get me to come talk here, right? I easily get another person, but it was because of the network and the way we kept our our connect. That's how we can easily reach out to each other that, oh, can you please come speak at somewhere where we are having this event. That's also the importance of networking. Networking is very, very important, because then who is going to be speaking for you if you don't have this network? Who will be speaking for you? There are a lot of times that I get jobs, I get roles, I get things on recommendation due to people that I've met, that I've probably worked with or not even worked with. And they just say that, oh, my Tunga role was gotten through someone I met on Twitter that I've never ever met face to face. I just met him on Twitter and we started talking about something and we connected and we started hosting a Twitter space together. And the next thing he just said, he saw this thing on Twitter and he sent it to me and I applied, right? So networking also is very, very important. Meet as many people as possible and don't just meet them and collect their handles and go mute. Reach out to them. Probably is after a session like this, tell them something you learned about their session, how their session helped you, and just from there, ask the question you want to ask, or just make sure you keep a tabs on them, right? So networking and mentorship is a two-way street. It's like a relationship. It's a give and take. So don't just always want to take. Do something for your mentor also. So I think that's what I will have to say about that, if I answer your question.
Yes, very well, because you talked about the fact that mentorship is like someone that holds your hand to achieve a thing. And one of the things I was able to learn from that is that you have to go there knowing something. Don't just go there without knowing anything. Make sure you have something in mind that you want to discuss with someone. And yeah, very, very, very accurate. Thank you so much. I don't know if Eileen is still available to. I have a question I would like to ask. And someone dropped a question on the chat section platform, which I would also like Bami to answer at the end of the this section. So I don't know if Eileen, are you still available? I have question for you.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Okay. One thing about women is the fact that so many things challenge women from entering into that space of tech. And this is my question. What are the challenges, the stereotypes and biases that might discourage women from entering into the advanced part of tech? For you now, you do robotics, and we can hardly, if we check in Nigeria, we can see that maybe like we might not even get a 50% of women doing that. So what might be something that seems like a challenge, a stereotype, something that seems like a stoppage to them advancing in this aspect of tech? I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah.
And what can be the solutions and way forward for them to advance? Someone like you, like I said, robotics, and you're doing fine in it. What are the challenges? What can be the stoppage, and how they can, how can they move forward into it? Thank you.
Okay, one thing I would say is that if you have the passion for something, I don't think there is any challenge whatsoever that should stop you. So with the things I've seen in this particular industry, with the height I've come, I can tell you that if I was able to do it, then there is no reason that you shouldn't be able to do it too. So some people may just have some challenges. Coming into software development, it could be that you don't have a laptop as a woman or something. But starting, if you really want to do it, you can just start with the basic thing. Some people do code with their phone. The thing is that even when I entered the computer school I studied at, when I entered into that school, I didn't have a laptop, and it was a practical school. Like, you can't go there without a laptop. So my laptop spoiled, and my parents were still kind of trying to fix a laptop for me so I can be taken to classes. But I didn't just wait till I get the laptop before I start doing something. What I did was, I usually go to class with a pen and paper. I was writing HTML with my pen and paper. All those things they were teaching me, I was writing it. So when I go home at night, maybe I will kind of look for an app on my phone that will run HTML. And all those things I wrote in class, I'll just be typing it one by one so that I'll be sure it's working for me too, just like those people that are using laptop in the class. I will type it and run the code to be sure it's working. That was like that was a step for me. I didn't just sit back and say I'm not learning anything because I don't have a laptop. And when I finally got a laptop, I knew I had to do more because there are so many things I didn't get the experience very well because I was just writing with pen. So I took my time. All those things I was kind of writing in my book, I brought that book. I started checking all of them with my laptop. I started writing those code with my laptop. I had to go back and learn those things when I got a laptop. So you can just start from somewhere. And then in this particular industry, this robotics, it's actually a field that it's not going to be giving you money initially. Instead, it's going to be taken from you. It's going to be taking a lot of money from you. You need money to the first equipment I got it for 20,000 naira. And I didn't even have the money then. I met my mom. I was like, Mommy, please, can you just borrow me 20,000 naira? Let me use and get this equipment. And those people, the people that came for that training, they were the ones that came with the equipment, and they were living in a week. So I got the money from my mom, which I still paid her. It's not like she gave me for free. But that determination, that drive for me to be able to do that thing because of this knowledge that I want to get. So over time, I know sometimes when I was still starting out, many times that maybe I just have a little amount of money. I've not eaten. The only thing I'm thinking of is to use that money to go and buy battery, to use that money to go and buy some robotics things that I'm going to use and do some practice with. So you need that kind of passion, that kind of drive, that no matter what you see, nothing can stop you. You will still make a way for yourself to do that particular thing. So that's all I have to say. No matter what challenge it is, if it is data, you can stay. I know how many times I've stayed awake at night to do the night sub, just for me to be able to, download some softwares, maybe code, do some work. I've stayed awake at night, and even on these freelancing platforms, it's always in the midnight that you will be seeing jobs very well. I will stay awake at night trying to know if I will submit a bid and get work there. So, and if I'm making this money, they are all going into my robotics learning equipment and all those things. So I prioritize what I want to learn before any other thing. You will see me, I will sacrifice the money that I want to use for a particular thing. Maybe to get myself clothes or something. I will sacrifice that money to use it and buy a robotic equipment. So you need to go to that dimension where your passion, determination, everything is driving you, that nothing can be able to stop you, even the challenges you're seeing around.
Yes, like it's just eat it. Like nothing should stop you. Nothing. Like, most of our speakers actually mentioned females, some females doing very well in their field today. Do you think there was no challenges at one point or the other? Yeah, definitely there was a challenges that could actually make them stop at the points, but their passion keep making them go forward. And look at the results today. You can see that we can mention their names and all of those things because they will get a result due to the fact that they didn't allow that passion, that discouragement or any challenges stop them from achieving what they need to achieve. So I want to ask this question. I want to ask Temi. I don't know if Temi, can you hear me? Hello, Temi.
Yeah,
Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. You talk about inclusion, and one thing I want to ask is the fact that how can we ensure that all voices are heard and valued in our organizations? All voices and all voices are heard and valued in our organization, in the sense that we don't want a kind of situation where maybe some set of people are sidelined and they're not doing, just how can we ensure that all voices are heard, that everybody is in core and they can voice out whatever they need to? I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Okay, so I think it's just from a place. It's a very simple answer. It's just from a place of skilling up. Like I said when I was presenting, I said, if you're good at what you do, you can easily walk up to people and say, this is what I think. You can even introduce things in your company. But if you're the type that either you're a guy or a girl, when you don't put value on the table, nobody wants to hear you. But if you have paid the price, if you're learned what you said you're good at, you are a software developer, they know that anytime there's bug as related to software development, you do well. They can testify to the fact that you're good at what you do. And it's not going to be bragging when it's fact. Just be good at what you do. Then opportunities will come to you to speak. But I'm not sure if all voices can be heard, because what are those voices saying? Some voices are just noise. So it depends on what those voices are saying. If they don't hear you now, they will one day hear you and believe in you. I mean, we've heard people say, when I was starting my career, I reached out to a lot of people. They didn't answer me. They didn't respond to my emails. Those people that you were trying to reach out to are now the one reaching out to you now, because you have, done well for yourself. So if those people ignore you today, they will come back for you because you have done well for yourself. And I've practically, experienced something like that. Somebody I've been trying to reach out to that didn't respond to me was one that now reached out to me on Twitter. I mean, we had a closer reach, but the person was not responding. Then when I even said, oh, I have reached out to you before, like, oh, I didn't see the mail and all of that stuff. So it happens. So we are not sure that all voices can be heard, but to just keep talking, one day they will hear you. But make sure that while you are talking, where you were in 1994 is not where you are in 2002. All right. Thank you. That's my answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. She talks about the fact that be good at what you do. Just be good. Like, keep developing yourself, even though when people are not hearing you now. If you keep the consistency of making sure that you are good at it, one day they will hear you. So to our last questions, we have the question in the chat section, chat platform. I don't know if Bami is available to answer it. Hi, Bami.
Yes, I am here.
All right. One of the questions we received is how do I go about changing my track in tech? I guess this person has been doing a particular has been in a particular field in tech, and due to inconsistency, I wasn't consistent at all. Now I'm thinking about changing my track, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to hold up. So I guess this question is about being consistent and being able to change from the track she was before to a new track and be able to stay faithful on that new track she's about to change to. So that's the question we have.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so for this, I always talk about your passion. As much as we always want something to be our motivation, probably money for tech. I mean, there's a lot of money there, so you really want to do it. Have a passion for what you're doing, right? If you don't have passion, that consistency cannot consistent. To be honest, you cannot be consistent. So first off, this thing you are moving from, do you really like it? If not, drop it. That is why we have diverse, diverse opportunities, diverse roles in the tech ecosystem, right? So if it does not work, drop it. But make sure that whatever you are going into is something you are really passionate about. Because on days where you don't feel like, when you don't feel like standing up, when you don't feel like opening that your PC, when you don't feel like doing anything, it is your passion at the back of your mind that will keep you going. And then you now need discipline. I wrote sometimes on LinkedIn, discipline over over motivation. Now, I talked about passion. It is important that you have passion for whatever you want to do. And now you also need discipline. You need to discipline yourself. It's for you to have accountability partner, someone that you'll be telling, oh, this is what I did today. It necessarily do not have to be a mentor. That's why I said accountability partner. That's what you need to be consistent. Just have someone that you are giving info to, that this is what I'm doing, this is what I have done. And make sure your learning is public. So when you make your learning public, a lot of people are watching you. So be putting it out. If it's for you to do 10 days of coding or 10 days of design, 50 days of coding, 50 days of design, 50 days of anything that you want to do, put it online and start doing it, and have accountability partner. Also, you can put those people, the public space too, make them your accountability partner, and discipline yourself. Say that if I do not get this thing, I'm not going to buy myself this thing. I don't know if that makes sense for you. Say you want to buy, imagine that you want to eat now and you have not eaten for a while. And they tell you that if you not do this stuff, you're not going to eat. My dear, you're going to eat. You are going to do it so that you can eat. Or if you need a phone, if somebody want to get you an iPhone 15, so to say, and they tell you that if you not finish this course and tell me what you learned from it, I'm not going to give you this thing. You have motivation, right? So either ways, give yourself motivation, give yourself discipline, right? And also have passion for whatever you want to do next. So anything you want to do next, I wish you all the best. Have accountability partner, motivation, discipline, and passion. Passion is very important. Love what you do. Love whatever you want to do. Make sure you love it. Because on days where it's really, really down, that's what will keep you up. All right. Thank you. I hope the question is answered. Can you all still hear me? Because I'm not hearing anything.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the answer. And I would like us to just, every speaker has to give their final words to women out there. And I know that we might have few women, but currently here, but we have it recorded on YouTube, because trust me, this is what women need to hear. This, they just need to hear this. So I'd like us to, I'll be starting from Ellen. What will be your final say to all women out there?
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so to all women out there who are trying to enter into technology, what I'll say to you is you should find the passion. Find the passion first before you start. And for the person that wants to switch role, I don't know your reason for wanting to switch role. Why do you actually want to go into that particular role? Is it because of what you heard people say about that role? Is it because of how much money you heard they are making or something? But you should find a good drive for yourself while you're actually moving into something. So find a passion, discipline yourself. There may not be motivations, like nothing is going to motivate you. Sometimes I lose motivation. I don't even know how to continue. But you just need to understand that it's a phase that everyone goes through, even professionals. Sometimes they lose motivation, but you just have to find that motivation. So you just have to find what will drive you, discipline yourself, make sure you're consistent and you are good at what you're doing, so that when you go out there to talk to somebody, you can stand and say, yes, I know exactly what I'm saying. It won't just be you making noise and you don't even know the skills, you don't even know anything. So have confidence in yourself, and you're going to face a lot of challenges. Just know that. I don't like when people say that programming is easy, when people kind of say a lot of things to people coming into the tech space. I would like to tell you the truth. You're going to face this, you're going to face that. And if you can actually thrive in the face of all these struggles, then you should come in. So just know that you're going to face a lot and you should be prepared. But you should know that if you have the passion, nothing can stop you. If you have the right motivation, if you discipline yourself, nothing can stop you, no matter what it is. So keep pushing, and one day you will tell your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you have the passion, nothing can stop you. Temi, over to you, your final words to the ladies.
Yes, I think they've said everything already. Just to pick up from what Ellen said. Ellen, thank you for your section. I forgot to thank you. I mean, there's always a lot to learn from you. She said that she doesn't like when people say programming is easy. At the same time, I don't want to think it's hard. So I think programming is not easy, it's not hard. It's just like every other thing, like law, like accounting, whatever field you choose. So you have to pay your dues. You can't become a good lawyer without paying your dues. You can't become a good doctor. So you can't become a good software engineer, robotic engineer, whatever, without paying your dues. So don't see it like a place to come and escape, to come and slay and not work. So as a lady, you're going to slay and also work so hard, to earn respect in that field. Again, it's not bragging when it is fact. There's something on social media. You see a lot of people come in the name of branding. They are saying what they are not. They are, I don't know how to say it, that it would be nice, but what they say they know, it's not true. Like, don't lie about your journey. Don't lie about who you are, where you're going to. Let people know that you just started learning. I know, yadi, yadi, yadi. So that when they get you into the job, you will not be a fraudster. There are many people that they lose their job just the first month, second month. I read something on Instagram. The lady lost her job in 2 months or so. And mind, I'm like, why? Can you tell us the background story? I want to hear. You will find out that maybe she says she's a front-end engineer or back-end engineer or whatever. And then when they start giving her projects, she's complaining that I've not learned this. The only thing I know is PHP. And in your interview, you are so good. You as a lady, we can talk so sweet about what we know how to. That's why I'm so particular about skills. Don't just say, oh, they've inspired us, I will do this, I have the energy, no, don't lie about this thing. Take time to be good. It takes time and tenacity, learn, unlearn. Ellen talked about how she used to spend the nights trying to learn, and I think she's still learning. There's no end to learning. So if it is fact, it's not bragging. If you know what you're saying, if I'm here talking about, programming, I've taken time to understand it. I probably don't code every other day, but anything I'm saying, I know it. And that's how it should be. When you say something, let it be something you know. Enhance your skill. Like, be selfish about your learning. Learn anyhow. Let people, when they call you out to come and speak about UI, UX, project management, whatever you say you're doing, don't be found one who say, I forgot to just tell you that I started 2 months ago. What I meant is that I understand it. You have already lost that stage, and you have also denied so many other people. Somebody will not say, I told you. That's why I say you should not employ a lady. They'll start, you helping, you're not helping other people. You're blocking that opportunity. So please, tomorrow you might be our face out there. Don't disappoint people that trust you. Don't disappoint people that believe in you. Be good at what you do. For the person that said she wants to switch to, I just think there's no easy field. There's no easy field. Even I see people now jumping into management, and I feel so scared for the future, because management is not a role that you should just jump into without any knowledge. No knowledge of managing people. You just say, oh, they say project manager is easy. You will just be managing the project. Do you even know anything about the project? Do you know anything about management? You have to answer those 2 questions before you do it. Or you want to do non easy field, even quality assurance, QA. It's hard, it's on technical challenges too. So don't say, oh, they say robotics is hard. There's no hard one, there's no simple one. You have prices to pay. So be ready to pay the price. And I think I wish you all the best. Yeah, that's it. That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bami, what about you? Your final word to everyone.
Yeah, so everything there like is pretty much said. And I just really resonate with the part of, management, because when I tell people that I'm a community manager, people just feel like, what are you people doing? Should you just for you to manage community of developers? Boy. But yeah, it has its own technical and technicality and all of those things. So I don't think there's anything that is super easy and there's nothing that is so hard. Um, so yeah, just make sure that whatever you're doing, I think that's my watchword. And I really, really love managing people. I really love connecting with people. I always pride myself as, the life of the party. I bring joy to the space. And that's why I'm super excelling apart from the, the managing and the strategy part of it. I actually enjoy what I do. And I think in whatever we want to do, be it, robotics or cloud engineering or anything, social media manager, just make sure that you are in love with what you're doing and you have passion for what you're doing. And on this final note, I'm just gonna say yes to strong women. May we know them and may we be them. May we raise them. So happy International Women's Month, people. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Seriously, thank you so much. One of the things every speaker here keeps saying is that build yourself, build yourself, build yourself, improve on your skills. And one thing I would say is that be the face of the woman out there, so that when you will not be a stop to a woman getting an opportunity when the time comes. So that we because of you, they won't want to say that I won't employ a lady. But be a face whereby because of you, they want to employ more ladies. They want to give more ladies the opportunity to express themselves. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And one thing about it is that, like I said, this is on YouTube. You can share with as many people as possible, work on this and all of those things. Thank you, everyone. And our YouTube name is Tech It Girls. Tech It Girls. Just search for Tech It Girls on YouTube, on Instagram, on every of our social media platform. On Instagram, Tech It Girls. On just search for Tech It Girls. You will find if the host can also drop the social media handles on the chats section, that would be very good. So thank you so much. And we have so many programs towards the other part of the month. We have our training coming up very soon, and you want to watch out for this. That's one of the major reasons why you can always follow us to know more about this, and also reach out to us to join our WhatsApp community, our Slack community, so that we can get updated on every of this information. So I would like to say thank you again to every of our speakers, Temi, Bami, Ellen, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for being part of the journey to inspire women, to encourage women, to make women achieve much more. Thank you so much.